now. I'm just waiting for everybody to get in here. All right. Everybody watching. I'm just letting. I'm gonna start soon. Within the next couple of seconds, 30 seconds or so, or a minute. Just giving people time to come up in here.
That's the work that I do without.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started in 1 second. Let me come up over here. Good sun out here. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We're 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. Hopefully y'all seeing this now. Just want to give people time to get up in here. They go a black snake. But anyway, um, as you can tell by the title, we're talking about the truth about the North Pole and the South Pole. And I'm gonna talk close to the mic so y'all can hear me. But hey, shout out to Pete Grozev, man. I hope you staying here for this great video, bro, because a lot of knowledge being spread in this one. So when we talk about the North and South Pole, you gotta understand that things are in reverse to an extent of what they be telling us. So when they say North Pole or South Pole, everything actually is in reverse. So when we think we're looking up to the North Pole, aka when they say the highest star that is aligned with the North Pole, we think that's the highest point. I think it's called Polaris, but really that's the lowest point because everything is in reverse and you're looking deeper into the waters. You see what I'm saying? So really the South Pole is what we would be looking, is the direction we would be facing in or want to look at if we want to look towards the actual true highest or the height or upwards to the direction of up in the universe that we're in. You see what I'm saying? And so that's important to know the directional actual directional path. There's not always a such thing as up and down, but there is this sense of direction as far as what direction you're pointing in. So, but with that being said, it's a lot of knowledge when you talk about the North and South Pole because you can leave this planet, we call it a planet, this planet Earth, this water cycle. You can actually leave through this Earth and go into a whole nother space or Earth or world. Um, through the North and South poles. And this is why they have a point in the North Pole. I forgot the name of it, but it's a point in the North Pole that hasn't even been inhabited yet or hasn't even been gone to. So they say. But a lot of people, I guess, die or like when they try to go that way, they don't have enough. They don't have a ship or the type of technology that can sustain those pressures and winds once it goes to that direction. But they're aware of this knowledge due to ancient knowledge that has been in different artifacts and stuff like that from different ancient civilizations or whatever you want to call it. But you can leave from keep going north, and you can leave this earth keep going south. You see what I'm saying? And it's not a ball like how they be trying to make it seem. There's a slight sense of direction, but there's not a ball like the way they try to make it seem. You see what I'm saying? These are all land masses. This is why if you look at the Terra Infinita map, which I advise you to look at, I'm gonna do a video on that anyway. You could tell how there's many different land masses, and this one we own is just the one we call Earth. But there's many different other worlds with other beings on them and stuff like that. There's hundreds of other worlds out there, third dimensional worlds that's just I don't want to say just like ours, but in so many words, just like how we're a planet in the world that's physical, there's hundreds of those other worlds out there that in next to us or farther out from us. You see what I'm saying? You got ones closer, you got ones further. The ones that are closer resonate more with our space more. The ones that are further out play out much more different than what we're used to, and they may play out as unfamiliar or unique or weird or strange to us. Um, you see what I'm saying? So that's how it plays out with the North Pole. There's not really too much to it, but you do need to know this. Like I said, you can leave this. When you look at Antarctica, what we call the South Pole, really that direction is actually north in the spirit realm of the astral world or the universe or space. That's actually headed truly north. To what direction we look at as the heavens. You see what I'm saying? So like when they be trying to tell you like Ursa Major and like I said, Polaris, which is supposedly the highest point that is right up above and adjacent and aligned with the North Pole, and they have you pointing to that as up, like, oh, that's the highest point. Really, that's just the lowest point, meaning that's deepest in the rainbow waters of the rainbow ocean, or what we call space. You see what I'm saying? What we call space, the celestial realm, the astral realm, all that. It's really just deeper in it. It's not good or bad, but it's deeper in it. So it's dealing with heavier waters. It's dealing with a heavier realm of reality, a heavier world, a heavier heaven or hell. You see what I'm saying? But the ones that are adjacent coming through, when you're aiming in the direction of what we call the South Pole, because everything is really flipped upside down in this realm of reality. What they tell you is right is really wrong. What they tell you is wrong is really good in so many shapes and forms. So when you point towards the South Pole, look at the stars that deal with that. And sometimes they be so faint you can't even see them because they're in a lighter realm of reality. They're in a less dense realm of reality. So the stars that are actually adjacent and aligning with the South Pole in the South Pole direction is actually in a higher realm of reality, or a lighter realm of reality, what we will call it. You see what I'm saying? So those are dealing with the more heavenly realms, the realms of when we talk about reaching nirvana. I mean, there's different nirvanas in each side, whether you're in the deeper portion or the lower portion. But when you talk about being in less dense and truly being in bliss, these are the things that this world deals with. Worlds of lights and bliss and peace and all that shit, where you're not confined by mental formation or thoughts or emotions and feelings like the way we experience them. You see what I'm saying? I got a video coming about that too, because that gets deep too, understanding that. Because there's a lot of truth, but that's so deep, I ain't even gonna get into that right now. I'm just throwing that out there for you to have an idea of what's going on. But that's just how it plays out from a directional point of view. What they be telling us up is really down. So like shout out to Subconscious Community, and Dolo put us on before. When you look up, you're really looking down. When what's underneath us, what we call underneath the firmament, underneath us though, is actually in the direction of what we would call heaven. But it's not about heaven or hell. That's just direction of the lighter realm of reality. The realm of reality that's less dense. So it plays out as lighter. You see what I'm saying? It's not as heavy. When you look up, you're looking deeper into the water. And I got a video coming up about that too, and why certain dreams, if you're in the heavier portion of the astral realm or if you're in the lighter portion of the astral realm, because of the hue and the hue that plays out, and also the vibration. Are you experiencing heavy emotions and feelings? You see what I'm saying? Are you experiencing heavier emotions and feelings, or are you experiencing lighter emotions and feelings? Because the beings that are in the heavier part of the astral realm, aka when we look up, like I said before, those stars, they're in the heavier realm of reality, so they're dealing with heavier emotions and feelings. But don't get it twisted. Just because they're more in what we would call a holistic more realm of reality, or a heavy realm of reality, don't mean that it's all bad there too. They still experience positivity, and they balance in spectrums too. Just to us, we would get outweighed by that. But that's the same way we get outweighed on the polar end of that anyway. But those, the heavier realm of reality in that direction, you have to be made of certain metals, which when you get broad enough as a spirit, or you able to be broad enough as a spirit to go into one of those heavier vessels, your vessel play out stronger. It's just like a fish at the bottom of the ocean. A fish at the bottom of the ocean, some of those fishes that look ugly and shit, they have enough alchemical makeup and elemental makeup to handle that type of pressure down there. You see what I'm saying? But to them, even though that's heavier to us, it would cave us in. It would destroy us. We would implode on ourselves. It would even implode a lot of submarines and ships. But they're not imploding down there because they have the bodies that they've created and went into as spirits and got born down there to deep in those realm realities. They can actually withstand a lot more pressure. You see what I'm saying? So it's not looked at as negative to them. You see what I'm saying? Think of it like a bacteria or some cells floating around you, or some parasites floating around you. When they all out in the open, in the air, they could get evaporated because all this. Think about all the pressures, the wind pressures, the auras we produce, all these different friction they got. They haven't came into a body or been born into a body yet, or ascended into the body to be able to handle that atmosphere. But you in it now, it is not like you just getting wiped off your feet and it's just, oh my God, oh. That, you see what I'm saying? It's just normal to you. You could be in peace, you could be whatever state of being you in, but you're in a body that can sustain, you know, regardless of whatever you got going on at the moment. That's individual, but that's just letting you see how it plays out. But with that being said, that's pretty much it. But you do need to understand, like I said before, you can leave this Earth, this planet mass, this land mass we on by going through the North or the South Pole. You see what I'm saying? And when you go to the South Pole, I used to have the Microsoft Simulator in so many words, and they use real light satellite footage. And a lot of shit people don't talk about is, and what do you call it? Antarctica, right? Antarctica. Oh, shout out to everybody that's in the chat, by the way. Antarctica. When you travel over Antarctica, it's the reason why they have peace trees and stuff like that signed there. Not only are they, I ain't trying to give out too much information because I know how they be, but because it's very secretive. But not only are they in a situation where they're setting up shop in there, they're using training grounds and stuff like that. It go deeper than that. That's mundane. They could have did that anywhere. It's clearly deeper reason to why they do that. And they try to make you seem like, oh, well, it's certain type of minerals and stuff you can't get. That's BS too. The real reason is because there's a barrier that's out there somewhere that once you go past that, you actually go into another world in so many shapes and forms. So when I used to use the Microsoft Simulator, when you flew over to a certain part, you would actually see the hue of the sky change. Like you would see the sky. And mind you, this is real time satellites. You see what I'm saying? So whatever weather is going on at the moment, that's what it's being portrayed at when you're seeing it. You see what I'm saying? And when you went over certain parts of Antarctica, I don't remember where exactly it was. I need to find it again. I don't know if it was off of California or what, but when you go in that direction in Antarctica and you keep going out, the actual sky, like you see how the sky is blue right now, it actually changes the hue into like a greener blue. Like what we look at as bluish green or slightly turquoise, like a turquoise to an extent, or teal, but more like a turquoise because it's like a bluish greenish to it. You see what I'm saying? And that lets you know the shift of the sky changes, the color of the sky changes depending on the realm of reality that you're in. So if you was to keep going that direction, you would eventually run into another realm of reality. The same way we got a world here, you would run into another one out there. You see what I'm saying? And they would have a different look to it. These different land masses, we're not the only Earth. And Earths and planets with life on them aren't places that are far out and somewhere up in space. We live amongst these things. Now they may be millions and millions and trillions and billions miles out or far apart from us, but we live actually among these things. The realm that we in as a whole right now is the third dimension. It's not like this is the third. Excuse me. It's not like it's the third dimension and then somewhere else far out there is another third dimension. No. This whole realm of reality we in right now, where we physically on Earth, is a third dimension. This just what we call Earth and our planet. What we call our planet, this rotation water cycle that we on, this landmass right here that we call Earth, that's just a specific world in the third dimension. There's hundreds of other third dimensional worlds, but we all live amongst them. Like this is a dimension. This is a realm of reality in a sense. Like this is a whole realm, a whole dimension itself. And there's thousands of different realms of realities in each dimension. So when you die and you go to the fourth dimension or whatever, you go to the fifth dimension, there's millions of realm of realities in that. Think about all the bugs, think about all the animals that you can physically see. Whether they chickens, whether they birds, whether they iguanas, and I'm about to get up out of here, but whether they dogs, lizards, to the smallest rat, bugs, these are all third dimensional because you can still see them. So in some shape or form, think the butterflies, dragonflies, all that shit, bees, wasps, and they all got different mechanisms. A frog jumps, sticks his tongue out, catches things, a bee sits on pollen, flies out, birds flying high, hundreds of freaking feet in the sky. So it's just like, just in this realm of reality we call Earth is a planet, period. There's hundreds of different realms of realities that you can live in as a being and see it all, and they all got different perceptions just here. So what the fuck you think is gonna be like with all these other hundreds of other planets? It's thousands of realm of realities out there. It's thousands and thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of realm of realities out there, and just one dimension. So it's plenty other Earths out there, but we all amongst them. That's what y'all don't get. We all amongst these things. You see what I'm saying? So like flat earthers not like dumb. They not dumb because like there's certain sciences that they're privy to kind of have a better sense of consciousness or awareness of what's going on more so, but don't get lost into shape as far as if it's a ball, if it's flat, because truly you're really inside something right now. I'm not saying you're not on something, but you're really inside of something. It's more like a portal in so many shapes and forms. But this whole portal that we in, this space we in, is a part of a overall little portal space that we call the third dimension. You see what I'm saying? And the planet we're on is just a piece of the third dimension. There's hundreds of other worlds out there in the third dimension. We just like this space as a whole is a third dimension. We just happen to live on planet Earth right now. That's just one planet in the third dimension. But there's hundreds of other planets out there. You see what I'm saying? That we all live amongst them in this dimension. Period. So when you talk about Pleiades and all that stuff, and this cluster and that, and Alpha Centauri, you know what I'm saying? There's plenty of different third dimensions. That's why y'all kind of like I don't want to say that word, but y'all kind of recuperated because in so many ways, like y'all kind of slow because y'all get so attached to just this third dimension from reality. Y'all fight to death about this shit. So y'all don't be acting like you know anything or you smart or you intelligent at all, because you really ain't if you fighting for this shit. I don't want to hear no, oh, they knew something that nobody else didn't know, and y'all praying to these ancestors and this and then the third, yet y'all cling on to this third dimension so much. This all y'all fucking know. No offense, but this all y'all be knowing. They don't even be, I could tell if you knew about everything else, but you said, man, look, I choose to be here because this resonates with me. This will make me feel comfortable. I got some more shit I want to do that I'm attached to. That would be different. But 9 times out of 10, y'all be staying down here based upon the simple fact, the mere fact that y'all don't know anything else. So that's how y'all ghosts be. Y'all gonna be, a lot of y'all turn into ghosts because that's just the person that reincarnate. But that's the person that's so lost into this reality. So, they trying to, you know what I'm saying? They stuck down here in secure form. They don't know how to pass on. And that's the thing. You may not be conscious enough or have enough light or have enough information or enlightenment and awareness to always ascend and go into a broader vessel, a higher vessel and ascend all the time. You may not always pass on. That's fine. But you don't have to stay in this particular earth. You may be still big enough to only take the third dimension, but you could take another planet in the third dimension. There's plenty of planets. Like I said, you got the Pleiades system. Those planets, you got some shit, I think, and I could be wrong, but you got some shit on like Alpha Centauri. You got shit. We in the Earth space itself. That's all the third dimension. So y'all gotta understand that. You know what I'm saying? And it goes broad. So y'all ability to travel is endless. Don't let nobody fool you. Period. And that's pretty much it. But that's how that plays out. It is something else I want to say. I kind of forgot. Yeah, I said everything. I think you can leave this planet and go to another one through the North Pole. You can leave through this planet through the South Pole. What they point to you is up or north. Is really below, and the stars that align with up north when you look up, aka Polaris, so that being the highest point is really the lowest point, and then the stars that are below our horizon. And like they tell you certain shit about like the black sun underneath the earth. I mean, there's sciences to everything, but the planets and the stars that are beneath the horizon are the ones that are more so in heaven because they're not in heaviness like that. They're in lighter reality. The same way with Earth. This is the third dimension. You got the upper part of the third dimension. You got the bottom part of the third dimension. Because everything in reverse. You know you got a light. That's the lighter side of the third dimension where you may die at. Where you may be. You could say it's a ghost, but you really you still in this space. And you might have not fully passed on yet, but you in the lighter side of Earth. So things play out less dense and more heavenly, more pleasurable. You still kind of lost in the emotion and feeling, but you're dealing with lighter emotions and feelings. So they're not bringing you down, and it's more pleasant. That's actually what a lot of y'all be pointing to as heaven too. A lot of y'all be pointing that as heaven too. And then you got the heavier portion of the third dimension of Earth. That's the part where y'all be dying and y'all be in hell at. Like people that got like really attached to this world and didn't want to let it go and had heavy emotional attachment and all kind of shit like that, and y'all didn't have no conscience, no light at all to be even a little bit light, so you can at least go in between these different portions of the world. You just strictly don't know ish. You never expanded or nothing. You don't know anything, and you heavily attached to it too. Your ass is in hell, and you ain't expanded your vessel to at least go into a higher one down here. Yeah, your ass in hell. That's what a lot of y'all hit it and shit like that too. But what else? That's pretty much it. I'm trying to think because I want to get everything out while I can. But yeah, y'all do your homework, man. Look at about these treaties and shit, and why, and look up why people can't go to South Antarctica, and look up how there's a certain part of South Antarctica that's never been walked on. There's a part of the North Pole that's never been walked on. You know what I'm saying? All that. Because once you go through those parts, that takes you into another world. But there's a current out there that's real strong. So if once you get to that point, if you don't have enough technology or the ability to travel in there and have the technology ship a vessel that can handle that, you won't be able to. You see what I'm saying? Withstand that current. But yeah, I feel like I got something else I want to say. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, I did want to share my experience about the Microsoft simulator, about how um it's oh that no that's another thing. That's another thing. Okay, I kind of remember it a little bit now. Yeah. Now we're this is another important point. Hold on, 1 second. Let me drink this water. That's another that's another important point is the what we call the aurora lights. So when y'all be looking at the northern lights, like in the Polar Express and shit like that, when you look at when they talk about the northern lights, aka those green lights that's like at the top of the North Pole or wherever the hell they at, understand that that's like it's not about it being a portal in so many words, but in so many words it kind of is and it ain't. It's like half and half. It's more like you're seeing a light spectrum from that hemisphere. You're seeing a light spectrum that's bending in on itself from that realm of reality that's in that direction. You see what I'm saying? And since it's up, it may not be third dimensional. It's fourth and fifth and sixth dimensional. So when you're in the northern lights, you're kind of seeing a ray of light that is shining to an extent from the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, in the heavier aspect of it. And y'all probably don't notice, but there's such thing as southern lights too. There's southern lights too. Like how you have the North Pole and you have the northern lights. There's a South Pole with southern lights, and I think they usually have a different color to them. Sometimes it's pinkish red, but that's the same thing, but on the opposite. You're seeing light shining from the lighter aspect of the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, or the lighter aspect of the astral realm. So when you're looking up, you're in the North Pole and you're looking up, you're looking deeper into the astral realm, deeper into the heavier waters of the astral realm, in the heavier worlds. When you're in the South Pole, looking at the southern lights, you're looking out into the lighter part of the astral realm, in the lighter worlds, the more what y'all want to call heaven and shit like that, into the lighter realm of realities. So that's pretty much it. That's all I want to say. I got everything out the way. Appreciate y'all. Much love to y'all. Shout out to whoever in here. Hope y'all have a great day and shit like that. And come back for more. I got a lot of good videos I got lined up and shit like that. Y'all drop shit in the chat in the comment section because I will be getting back with you. Peace.